The human playbook. All right. Hi, PJ.
Hi, Sven.
Here we go again. Today we want to talk about an exciting life.
Yeah.
A more exciting life, because we read the book, or I read the book, from The School of Life, A More Exciting Life. What is an exciting life?
Well, I've been looking around a lot, and I don't like, people call people NPCs. You're familiar with this, right?
No.
Like non-playable characters. It's like background characters in a video game. And people call all of the people that they think are stupid or useless, they call them NPCs. Background characters. People who aren't actually there. What's interesting, do you know about Dolores Cannon? Have you heard of her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She calls those people, I think, like backfill or something. I don't know. But it's not a new concept. But I've been looking around and seeing, I get the impression there are people that their lives don't change. And my life has changed, and it changes a lot. And I like my life to change. I like to look back over a month and be like, it's almost like a whole year has passed. I want that rapid pace. Maybe I won't want it forever, but when my life has changed very slow, that's very miserable. And it's actually it's like death. Your life is stagnant. You don't want that. You want to always have newness and transformation. So I look around and I feel like there are people who their lives don't change because they don't allow it. And perhaps they're afraid. Why do people want to stay where they are? Why are they used to it? Do they not know how to change it? What's going on with that? Why do people choose this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's familiar, it's safe, it's you can control it, you can predict it. I don't know why they choose it. It's so hard for me to understand why, because I have the similar mindset as you have, which is I don't want to know too much. I like losing control. Um, Maybe that's why people also like alcohol or some stuff, because it's temporary, giving them the feeling to lose control. Now I sound like an alcoholic. I actually never drink alcohol, but that just came to my mind because in the last days I've observed a lot of people partying and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's funny. Maybe they kind of want it, but they're scared in their day-to-day life to lose control and a sense of self, like I think that's the biggest thing. The ego doesn't like change. Like if you can have
Right.
if you can have a fixed idea about yourself, like you can actually picture yourself and put yourself in a box. It gives you a sense of, this is who I am, this is my identity. And that can feel like safe, but it's a safety that at some point is just gonna make you stagnant and rigid and very, very bored, I think. But I would say it's sad. It's an ego thing. It's the identity that likes it. But true freedom, I don't know. When you're really free, I think you're in this open field of life where you don't really know what's gonna happen, but you have all the opportunities to behave a certain way. You can be a complete different person from moment to moment if you choose so. Um, but yeah, why are people scared of that freedom?
Well, in that quote, we kill our uniqueness out of politeness and a fear of being odd. That's not the whole quote, but I'm very intrigued by politeness being this kind of destructive force when it's designed to actually create ease and remove friction between people. But I think politeness is kind of useless sometimes. And
Mm.
what do you think about that?
Yeah. Um, what would first of all the word polite, like how do you define a polite person? What does it mean for you if you ask someone, or how do you see a polite person?
I think polite, if someone's being polite, they're doing it on purpose. It's very much they know they're doing it, you know they're doing it, and they're doing everything they can to not offend. So
Mm.
it's a performance, and
Mm-hmm.
it's nice, but it's a show. It's inauthentic. That doesn't mean it's bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a
Mm.
show.
Mm-hmm. And the opposite of being polite, that would mean like being rude.
Maybe not. Maybe the opposite of being polite is being free. Being rude might be a consequence of that. But
Mm-hmm. Mm. I'd like to be free and rude.
yeah, I love that. Love that.
And people gonna say like, this dude is so rude, but he's so free. That would
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah.
I'd rather be seen as that guy than, oh, he's such a nice guy, but he's I don't know, rigid or tense, or I don't know how you would call it, but yeah, free and rude. That sounds good.
So both of this, like we kill our uniqueness out of politeness and a fear of being odd. That's both of those have to do with this problem of other people. When you are in a world where you're not the only one, something about being around that gives you the chance to suppress yourself. We spend far too much of our brief lives defending an impossible idea that we are pretty much like anyone else. That intrigues me
Mm.
too, that we would ever have the inclination to want to disappear into the crowd like that. Of course, I've done it, but now I don't really understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But
What
people
you
do
don't
that. People spend
understand.
the. I don't understand the motivation now
Mm-hmm.
to want to disappear into the mass. But there are
Mm.
people who, this is sort of an inflection point in our life. When do you turn 27?
5th of March next year.
Next year. So I'm a year older than you. I'll turn 27 this month, April
No
23rd.
way.
Yeah.
The way you behave, I thought you're like at least 5 years younger than me.
I thought I was like 12. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I I think this is probably a good time in our lives where we kind of snap out of that, the people
Mm-hmm.
pleasing. But I've encountered people who carry that their whole lives.
Yeah.
And it's like a little
Yeah.
cage they've put themselves in.
Yeah. I think it's hard because like I have both desires inside of me. Like, there's the desire to be extremely free and extremely, but there's the desire to be my most authentic individual self. All that freedom based thinking of just me and just what I want and the way I want to express myself. That's very strong. And then there's this strong desire to connect. It can be in intimate relationships where you want to disappear in the other person. You want to um I don't know, transcend, if you can say that, the borders between you, the boundaries, or like you want to be so much with them. Um, but also in not intimate relationships, the desire to connect and have a good time. Um, so what I find hard to balance is this way of it's me individually, my freedom, but at the same time I want to connect, I want to feel connection. And I think that's where people pleasing comes in. It's like um I want to please in order to connect. I want to please in order to be, you know.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
Hmm. Yeah. So probably the best way to achieve a great feeling of um freedom and connection, I don't know, is maybe to risk it to be your full self and authentic self and go for your freedom, and maybe in that freedom understanding that you are still chosen or connected with, maybe even deeper. I don't know, but um, I just wonder if in nature, if there's a biological reason for people pleasing, if there's something that in the way human beings function, that it is needed to somehow adapt in order to survive, like to be in a tribe where
I think
you can,
so.
you know.
Yeah, now that you say that, it certainly has a value. Like you don't
Mhm.
want to be. Maybe now we can maybe kind of socially be alone in and still survive, but before we couldn't.
Mhm.
And if you were maybe someone like me 1,000 years ago, pissing everybody off and wanting to do it your way, you'd probably die. They'd probably kill you.
Yeah.
So I
You
like
would
this one
never have
too.
made it to 27.
No. Well, let's hope we do. I Do you know about the 27 Club?
No.
You don't know about
Ah,
this?
that's is it the singers and the artists who died then?
Who die? Yeah. So I'm about to join it.
What's gonna be?
That's how I'll like finally be super famous. Yeah.
I would actually come to your funeral, man.
Yeah, on Zoom. We do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
So I like this one. We have smothered our feelings of excitement and boredom for the sake of obedience to grand
Mm.
authorities and have paid a heavy price for our politeness. So this is expanding or repeating kind of what he's already said about the it's sort of like excitement is on the other side of obedience and politeness.
Mhm.
And these people whose lives stay the same and are therefore not exciting are because of their obedience and politeness.
Mhm.
We have smothered our feelings of excitement and boredom. He talks about boredom a few times in here. Our boredom is a vital tool that it tells us what is slowly killing us and reminds us
Mm.
that time is monstrously short.
Yeah.
So do you think too that these people also don't allow themselves to be bored? Because if they were, I've noticed this, if they were bored, if they weren't consuming, if they weren't going on TikTok, if they weren't doing whatever, and if they actually had to confront their life, it would destroy them.
Yeah. I think it would destroy them, but maybe if they would actually consciously choose to get bored, they would also maybe get in touch more with their creativity in some sense. But it is a thin line because I feel like most people are actually bored. Like, okay, they distract themselves with TikTok and stuff, but as you said, they don't have a change in their life, no novelty. They work their jobs they don't like. It's a silent death kind of. It is kind of boring. Maybe they just do it to a degree where um, they kind of tolerate it. They use TikTok and stuff as their drug and I don't know other things. Um, but they just got used to actually being constantly in this like medium state of being bored. But I think if you're an artist or somebody who's driven by something higher, um, you maybe have the both extremes a little bit more like than those people. You have the times where you're extremely bored, like that kid when you were a kid, when I was a kid, and I was like, ah, mom, I really don't know what to do. I'm just sitting at home and looking at a wall or out the window. That happens times, and I'm extremely bored, and I allow myself to really not know what to do. Um, but then there's also the other extreme where it's extremely exciting, like hours and hours researching some stuff, whether it's about movement or nutrition or um, reading a book or going on a journey or trip or whatever, and it's extremely exciting. So I feel like most people they are not really in any of these extremes, don't you think? Like they are just it's kind of flat line. It's not super bored, but it's also not super exciting. It's okay on weekends. I go drink a bit, I fuck that girl, or that boy or whatever, I'm okay, and then I go back to work. That's it. What do you think?
Yeah, I do agree that everything is dulled, and all the goodness that all the extreme euphoria I get by having new ideas, by receiving new ideas. That's my drug. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, that's a good idea, and then
Yeah.
writing it down. That extreme is also coupled with, actually, I don't agree with this. I was about to say, like, it would make sense that that would be coupled then with like an extreme pain, like that has to make up for it. I'd actually don't encounter that as much. I do have dips, but they're not equally equal in magnitude to the happiness that I experience over here. So I'm not sure.
Mm.
Um, Maybe I
But
used to.
don't you have these times where you're I wouldn't even say pain, like the boredom I talked about is just like, don't you have times where you really don't know what to do, or that you're very very bored, even if it's like, I don't know, an hour or something? You rarely have that.
I'm thinking it. I was describing this on another show I was on. It's I used to think it was maybe boredom, or that the time to have ideas, like when I was catching them, was like rare, and it wasn't all the
Hmm.
time. I now think and have the intuition and feeling that the ideas are always there and I always have access, but it's me who's slipping out of the channel. Like
Mm.
like Bashar or whatever, I'm not in the right frequency. And so if I'm bored and there's nothing there, that's really my responsibility. Um,
Mm.
but I certainly get disconnected, which is what
Hmm.
I would say is also boredom.
Yeah. 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 And probably that's why then, as he says, when we have this obedience, like when we obey, I think when you are disconnected from your core, from the intrinsic motivation, the I'm always so like fascinated by this question, like, if I am not forced from external forces or authorities, if I'm not forced to do anything, and with external authorities, I mean money or validation or people telling me what to do. When none of this is pushing me towards a certain action, I wonder what's the most natural thing
Mm,
that would just occur and come out from myself, like, um, and I think when you get in touch with that, that's when you maybe stop being polite in some sense, and when you stop obeying, because you're like, you obey actually, but you obey to something that is within you, like something much bigger, and that's the only voice you actually follow, and that's the voice of enthusiasm and inspiration and the ideas that you say, that drug feeling of like, this is great. um, and I think, this, yeah, I think they taught us in school and everywhere to obey something like external from us. We need to listen to that. We need to listen to the teacher, to the parent, to the government, to all these kind of things. It's like this constant disconnection of what actually wants to be born out of ourselves. Um, and I think at some point when you're so disconnected, um, you have only that choice to ask someone for guidance or tell you what to do or how to be, and then you become really
mm.
obedient.
So two things. There's expanding on this NPC idea. There's some people that think that of the 8 billion people that are here, only like 150,000 are actually like real and have souls. Which, this sounds kind of evil, and I'm not necessarily
Huh.
advocating for it.
Yeah.
Uh, but that, to me, if that were true, that would help explain why there's so many obedient people. And that would also,
Oh, and that's sorry. That's the that's what you said from Dolores Kane. So that's the theory she had, that there are only like 150,000
Yeah,
real souls and the
I think I
rest is
heard that from her.
background.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn it. Do
And
you
that
think
makes
we
a lot of
both are?
sense. Oh, I know we are. Yeah. I know we are.
But so the people who are just the background characters, they also know they are?
See, I don't know. I don't know. Do they it's kind of crazy for us to say, or for me to say, that that person doesn't have an inner experience.
Mm-hmm.
But if the world was full of people that were like you and me, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that that would be a good thing. I'm not saying we're bad, but it would be like
Hmm.
nobody would fall in line. Like that would
Yeah.
probably be a bad thing. I don't know. What do you think? Or does everybody have a soul but they're just cut off? They're disconnected. Which is more tragic. I can't tell which is more tragic. That there would be
Yeah.
a lot of people who aren't actually real, or everybody's real but most of them are just cut off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually crazy. I never thought about that, but I don't know if it would be bad if no one would ever fall in line anymore or be like, let's say me and you, but trying to be more like the individual and authentic self, or if it would create that, Bashar says that it creates that crazy synchronicity between people where like everybody acts on their passion and excitement and their true selves, and um, there's no more like money or power ruling the world, but synchronicity. You're
Oh, I
exactly
agree.
you come along the people who have exactly what you need to get further in your own journey, um, and everybody serves everybody else with their passion. Um, and that's actually how you pay, like with passion, like with being your authentic self. I would think that that would happen if we stop falling in line, if we stop going for the just external obedient way of living our lives. We would, yeah, I think that would be heaven on earth, kind of. That's what I believe.
I like that way more. I hadn't considered that. But
Hmm.
and I forgot that Bashar talked about that. And I think if that were the case, if everybody was online, if everybody was here, we would be in some sort of heaven.
Yeah, yeah, and
So this
yeah.
is my follow-up to that.
Hmm.
Is this an accident that there are all these NPCs who are suppressing themselves and cut off from their life? Is that an accident? Is it unnatural that there would be people that are awake and taking control of their lives, or is it on purpose? Is there something going on culturally,
Hmm.
globally, that has made that happen?
Hmm. I don't believe in accidents, except that I was an accident, as my dad said. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I forgot what I wanted to say. um, I'm the only accident here. No, I I believe there's maybe like a divine orchestration or a divine plan. I think we talk about an exciting life, and maybe we chose to be at this time on this planet because I think it could be kind of exciting to see us waking up from it, like from from being offline, disconnected, to being connected. I think it's like, I don't know. For me, it feels like there's this story in one of the book. I don't know what his George Bouquet, I think, and he says that a man went to a shoe store and he bought shoes which were two numbers too small for him. So he would suffer the whole day long because he wanted to go home and feel that relief of getting off that shoes, out of these shoes. And what he said, like, it's kind of dumb to do that. That's what most people do. They suffer, suffer, suffer just to have the relief afterwards instead of buying the right size of shoes from the beginning. But that's what comes to my mind. So maybe it's kind of exciting for our soul to be like, what if I can go in a state where I feel so disconnected from source and God or the divine stuff, and I actually go through a transition time where I start waking up and I realize, whoa, there was so much more which I didn't see. I think that might be something that could be exciting on a deeper level for us. And maybe that's what's happening now, or I have an intuitive feeling that it's happening. Um, so I think there's a purpose behind it. What do you think if you would answer that question?
Well, I have a. What's the question?
You ask if if it's kind of an accident, you know.
Oh, well,
You asked it actually.
right, right. I forgot. Um, it's to me, it's a little simplistic to say that there's some big bad people somewhere that are smart and powerful enough to somehow create conditions in billions of people. And I think that that's removing the agency of a lot of people to do that kind of conspiracy theory thing. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of conspiracy theories have been true. And the people in power are actually sometimes much more sophisticated than we can even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not necessarily ruling that out. I don't know how they would do that, but I do think that they like that. I do think that if there was a small group of people that were in charge of planet Earth for whatever reason, it's actually to their benefit that the majority of people are dead inside and
Mm.
just following the rules and living in constant fear. I think that's totally beneficial to them.
What what would be your message? Like, let's say you are in power now of the world, and everybody's listening just to you and to what PJ has to say. Um, how would what would you do different, or how would you rule the world?
Probably the first thing I'd say is actually, it is all fun and games. Don't you have that
Nice.
poster?
Yes, I have that.
Yeah. I'd probably say that first. Um, and then I'd probably say the trick is to take being unserious very seriously. So already two
Mm,
things where I'm saying snap out of it. Nothing's that
yeah,
real. It's
yeah.
all for fun. Um,
Would you say that being naked or dressed?
I'd be naked, but I'd have a wig on. Yeah,
All right.
and shoes. But that's it. And maybe then they'd kill me. So
Yeah.
that's probably what I'd say. I don't want to be in charge of anybody. I don't want to be in power. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
I already feel very powerful. And I like being powerful on my own.
Hmm.
And like being a channel, a conduit for these ideas, and then putting them into posters or whatever and broadcasting them into the world. And then
Hmm.
those, I hope and I think, do two things. I think they snap people out of taking life seriously,
Hmm.
and I think they give them their like spells and instructions on how to become a little rude and not obedient and not polite and
Hmm.
in charge of their own life. Like my most famous best-selling piece, I'm looking at it right now, is "Welcome to my one-woman show where you watch me do whatever I want." And so that's like it's like a defiance. But it's not necessarily mean. It's not about hurting anybody, but it's
Hmm.
about plainly stating I'm living my life for me. And
Mm.
that, for whatever reason, has resonated so much. People say, I need to see this all the time because this will pull me
Mm.
towards not being an NPC. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
That's
So
amazing.
if I were in charge, if I were in power, I would cover the earth in these posters, and I think it would help. I think it would help. Everybody
Definitely.
might start going crazy, and like they won't go to their job. They won't do as they're told, but they might start acting on their passion,
Yeah.
and it
The
might be
mag.
good. I
Yeah.
don't know.
it might actually start being fun. And I like that. I love what you said, to take it like being really serious about being unserious.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. It's like I have a discipline
Mm.
around finding ways to be relaxed. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying really hard to be
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah, it's like hard work to figure out how to do it. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. But
Yeah, I
so
know what you mean. Hmm.
what do we kill the NPCs or what do we do? Do we kill all the
Um,
people?
yeah, but maybe just in a nice way, like I don't know, if I would kill somebody, I would do it with class, like James Bond, or
Yeah.
yeah, I would think about it.
Or like a giant flood. Like a like a god level flood. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Wait, here, let's look at this. Oh, go ahead.
No, 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 I was just laughing.
Mm.
What did you want to say?
Well, I just want to talk. This is kind of a pivot, but I like this one. Life's
Hmm.
true luxuries might comprise nothing more or less than simplicity, quiet friendship based on vulnerability, creativity without an audience, love without too much hope or despair, hot baths and dried fruits, walnuts and the odd sliver of very dark chocolate. This might be a
Mm.
good one to end on. So, I am very much a believer in simplicity, and I think simplicity is the most natural thing. And I
Hmm.
think to make things simple, you are returning to it. You are not simplicity isn't some man-made thing that is at the pinnacle. It's actually what you do when you get rid of all the man-made
Hmm.
and the artificial ideas that we layer on top of nature, which is the path of least resistance.
Hmm. Yeah.
How does simplicity factor into setting the world free and waking up the NPCs, or somebody waking themselves up? How is simplicity a tool?
Mm. I think I think in a way that, so that these are my thoughts, that maybe simplicity, it throws you back to that inner stream of abundance, or that inner stream of
Mm,
um, something that feels so exciting and so enthusiastic, that flows through you, and that requires way less than any materialistic, um how do you say, when you acquirements, or anything that you try to, I don't know if you can say acquirements, but um I think, you know when you have these ideas that you talk about, like the posters or something, when you're in that state, you're excited, you're inspired, you are connecting or communicating with something within you, and it feels like you only need a piece of paper, something to write down and to share it. And that's like that state when you were in as a child, when you were just looking around in your surroundings and you were playing with things, and you were just needing exactly what was there. I think if you go for a simple, or if you try to actually act on your excitement and the things on your joy and what you love, I think what I realized is that these things are way more simplistic than what I imagined a good life looks like. Like, my mind was, I don't know if it's from the media or wherever. It was like I thought I need that big stuff. I need these big things like the yacht and the cars and the bitches and sorry for the word, and the women and all of these things to be happy. That was like this thing, that this is the good life. But then when I come back to the present moment, and I ask myself what excites me right now in this moment the most, it might be exactly as they say. It might be some dried fruits in a bath, or it might be a coffee, or it might be good conversation, or just playing with pull ups variations. Like, sometimes I wonder why I can spend 3, 4 hours training on gymnastic rings, trying different kind of things because it excites me so much. And I just have gymnastic rings, you know? But then later, when I go back home and I look at it from the outside, I get out of this zone and I'm like, what did I do? And I'm like, the whole morning I just spent in the same 5 meter space working out on rings. Like, what am I doing? Where's this going? And then the mind comes back in, like, there needs to be more. I need to do more, you know? So maybe simplicity somehow helps you to work more with your immediate surroundings and therefore get in touch with a joy and an enthusiasm that really doesn't need much, you know, that doesn't need the stimulation from outside, that comes from within, of like, yeah, it's that stream, you know what I mean?
Completely. And if people returned to that, that would be the awakening force. That
Yeah.
simplicity is God. That is the universe. That
Yeah.
is the all the barriers removed.
Mm. Yes.
So to
Yes.
all the NPCs listening, return to simplicity,
If
please.
you want to be saved,
Yeah.
listen closely.
Cuz
Return.
only me and Sven know anything, cuz we're both idiot 20-year-olds with microphones.
You are all sheeps and
Yeah.
we are the wolves, okay?
Yes, exact.
We're
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. Thanks for putting it clearly. Yeah.
So maybe we need to
Fuck.
speak their language, you know?
We're the real
Return.
NPCs.
Nah.
Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I'm such an idiot. No, we're geniuses. We're geniuses. People will
Yeah,
see
we are.
soon. They will see soon.
Yeah,
All right.
we're gonna explode and then we're gonna be millionaires and I can finally buy all these cars and the yacht and stuff,
Yeah.
and
Because
I
the whole
love it.
time we were pretending to like simple things, but the moment we get all the money, it's over. It's over.
But, you know, that's the funny thing. There is a part of me which is like, if that would explode and it would make so much money, I think there's really a part of me that would throw these huge giant
Well, you got to
parties
get
and I
it out
would
of your
just go
system.
wild.
Everything in my life where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to like finally have this. I get it, and I go, oh, I got this just to find out that I really don't want it that much. Like, and
Yeah,
it's actually needed. You need to go
yeah.
through these things to find out, to get even more clear
Mm,
on simplicity is the way.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But actually, that somehow interests me. Like, what is your definition of simplicity as well? Like, I just thought about this right now with especially relationships, because I also made the experience. Okay, that's a bit personal, but I try to. But I made the experience as well that I always had that feeling or think that I need multiple partners to be happy. And
Interesting.
um I had in the last months or some, how I could have the experience of maybe, exploring that realm a little bit. um but yeah, it was fun, but it also showed me, as you said, that maybe I didn't want it that much. But does simplicity mean for you as well less? Is
Yeah.
simplicity, is it the
Yeah.
definition of less? You don't, yeah. Okay.
They overlap. I'm definitely a minimalist, and
Mm-hmm.
I have spent my whole teenage and adult life getting rid of things where
Mm.
other people are trying to acquire. And I'm
Mm.
constant, like, I get one of my highs too, and this has been in every job I've had and every project I've been on, is removal. Like, people like to
Mm.
add things and make it more complicated and more ornate and more intricate. And what if we add that? I get a euphoria, a rush from how much
Mm.
can I throw away and get rid of.
Mm.
Literally. Like, I want to go
All
into
right.
people's houses and throw things away and that makes me feel
Mm.
good. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that's like instructions from God or whatever. Like one of your gifts is the ability to reduce things and return them
Mm.
to simplicity. So that's certainly
Mm.
part of it. I think boredom, not boredom, but time, which also isn't real, time with that is not scheduled or filled to do something. Just being here now. That is
Mm.
simple. That is what
Mhm.
simple is.
Mhm.
Even my work is so incredibly simple. Like I spend all my time on the idea and no time on trying to make the design more complex or better. Like
Yeah.
it's all a system, it's a formula. I
Yeah.
want to keep removing choices from it. And I
Mm.
also think that people's lives are harder because they have too many things and too many choices. And it's harder for them to keep their house clean. And it's harder for them to get dressed. And it's harder for them to show up to things. And it's harder for them to get things done.
Mhm.
To me, it's so obvious that there's just stuff in the way. Literal things, people, ideas, there's stuff in the way. You need to
Mhm.
remove. You need to remove all this man-made and return to simplicity. And I will only actually have fully returned when I
Mhm.
die, because the
Yeah.
last thing to get rid of is the body.
Yeah.
And then I will finally be pure. Like it'll just be my
Yeah.
consciousness and I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Thank God." It's finally simple. Like it's finally simple. It's
Yeah.
just
What?
oh, go ahead.
Yeah. It's gonna be soon for you, like
I
27, as you
know.
say.
So
That's
that's in 10
amazing.
days. I have 10 days left. So we better
10 days,
record.
really?
Yeah,
Oh
10 days until
shit.
my
Okay.
birthday. Yeah.
Damn it. So if
I'm
this is the last episode maybe with you, you need to drop some real ass good wisdom now, you know?
I think I'm out of that. Yeah. You'll have yeah, maybe you'll be able to take over my work and then you can get really rich from it after I'm
Oh
gone.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'll
need to
give you all
write
the
that down on
passwords.
your yeah.
I'll give you all the passwords.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Maybe I
you can
would also
sell it
find
all or something.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never be able to do your work. And that's a great thing. That's also that must make you proud somehow, because when you're authentic and individual, no one can ever do your work for you. You know,
I
you can
know.
be at a job.
This is what's so funny to me, that like what I'm doing is so comically simple. A monkey could
Yeah.
make what I'm making. This does not take a crazy skill. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, why are people not copying this? Like it's so fucking obvious what to do. And they can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. And so I'm like, okay, I guess it's just for me. I guess I'm the
Yeah.
only one who knows how to do this.
Yeah, it is, but it's exactly what you said as well with simplicity. It's the same thing in sports. If somebody is really good at a sport, you see they just do the most necessary movement or things,
Yeah.
you know? It's very simple, and
It's
it could look,
obvious.
yeah, and it could look like I can do that too, but then you go try and you can't. And it's the
Exactly.
same it's the same thing with you, you know? For you it might maybe looks like it's so damn simple, but in this simplicity you channel, I feel like you channel your entire character, your entire personality, your connection to God or the higher mind. You channel it in there, and you're the only channel that can get it in that way. You know, even if they try, they cannot.
It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So that's what I want. I want everybody to experience that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the world would be a big party. I like a
Big
lot of.
party. That's what it would be. Yes.
Yeah.
It would be insanely fun.
Yes.
Insanely
Yes.
fun.
Yes. Everybody themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. And also this, you know, it's nothing seems to be more simple than just being your full self. Like
Yeah.
nothing is more natural than how could we go such a far way, like being somebody we are not and constantly trying to be somebody we're not, getting so much off track, while the most simple thing, and I think the thing that would bring us the most joy and abundance would just be fully being ourselves. That would bring so much. And again, maybe that's what simplicity would also bring us. Like, I don't know. It's so simple somehow. I feel like I'm doing this podcast and stuff, and I'm talking to some stupid people out there. Like, why are you not getting it? We are just the only smart guys who figured it out,
Yeah.
and it kind of pisses me off.
That's what I've been saying all along.
Oh man.
Well, this was a good one.
Yeah.
We figured
That's
it
great.
out.
Mm-hmm.
We're so smart and so talented. Everybody listen to us.
Yeah.
So we'll have to pick out the next book.
Yes, I actually didn't read that much lately.
Yeah, you've been
I need
busy,
to.
huh?
Yeah, very busy.
I'm
Trying
still
out if I
reading the
can
Gene
have.
Keys. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
but
very long.
you are. Yeah, you sure it's long, or you're just a slow reader?
I didn't learn how to read, so I have to spell it out. Yeah.
Your mom is reading it for you before bed.
Yes. Yeah. So it's gonna take a couple years to finish it.
And she has dyslexia as well, right?
Yeah. And she's deaf and mute. So it's sign language. But my eyes
now
are
I get
closed
it.
because I'm asleep. So it just doesn't, we're working it out. It's also boring. It's a boring book. It's boring, but
Yeah.
I'd much rather just watch TikTok,
Yeah, so follow your excitement, Basher says.
Oh
so
my
don't
god.
read.
Oh my god. All right.
No, we can do Gene Keys next time. That sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
See you.
NPCs. Love you, NPCs. You're all
Wake
stupid
the
and
fuck
I hate
up.
you.
The Human Playbook.